The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movements start from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast. Mic check, mic check.
Check.
Are we recording?
All right, cool.
I know. We say the same things every time. That's how you get. We got to put that on our merch. That might be the first drop.
Are we recording?
Yeah, are we recording? Yeah. Man, we are in the building, man. Welcome to the Streets A&R Podcast. It's your host, Getty Jicky with it. And unfortunately today, our other host, C, could not be here because she having them almost mommy problems. So y'all keep her in your prayers, and she doing well. We about to turn up tomorrow at her baby shower. Yeah. It's going down. But yeah, man, she couldn't be here, but we going to keep the party rocking, man. Today we have some special guests in the building. I'm gonna give my spiel on how I even know this guest or know of this guest. Two quick stories. First one happened in 2019. I was in Phoenix, Arizona for a conference, and I'm going out. Like anytime I go to a city, I like to see the scene, like who's doing what, where's they at. I'm downtown. I go into a club. I might be by myself. I like to just move. I don't care. And I go in this club, and 2 to 3 minutes in here, I'm listening to the music like, who the fuck is DJing? So I walk up to the bar. I'm looking for the DJ booth. I walk up, I'm like, oh shit, who the hell is this? And I actually think I missed the name, and nobody really gave me the name there. I'm like, she is cold. Fast forward, 2020's happening, COVID's happening. I'm on the internet just scrounging, and during COVID, big time for DJs to get their skills up.
Yep.
And I got some questions about that one because I seen you, and that's how I'm looking on the internet. I was like, wait a minute, she looked familiar, and they said Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm like, I think that's her.
Yeah.
I think that's her. I hit follow real quick. I'm like, man. So I actually found the DJ that I saw and heard, because when you walk in the venue, you don't take but 5 minutes to know if they know what they're doing or not.
Mm-hmm.
If they know what they're doing or not. So I'm glad to introduce and welcome to Omaha, DJ Javin.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. And so we're not remiss. We have another guest here who I'm learning about as we go. I want you to introduce yourself.
Sure.
Who are you? And what do you do?
Sure. My name is Noemi. I go by Nova. Born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I am a dancer. I am a nail artist, just kind of creative all over. And I'm happy to be joining Javin here today. And just kind of excited to see what Omaha has.
Oh,
It's
man.
our first time out here, so we're excited. That's right.
We appreciate it. You did not bring the sun, but y'all enjoying the rain anyway. Y'all enjoying the weather, so it's all good. And I was going to ask about your nails.
Yes,
was
by
like,
me. By me.
Now I know. I was like, they're a little too clean. Like, what's happening? I'm like, all right. All right. So just to give the people a little background, Javin, am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Yes. How you got started with the music and then DJing, and kind of where you are now as far as what events, clubs, or partnerships you're actually working in.
Yeah. So I started back when 2012, maybe 2011, 2012. That's kind of when I piqued my interest in DJing overall. I didn't grow up with any DJs, so it was a little bit different for me. And then I heard on the radio, he's now my friend, Chris Villa. And I was like, what is this? Like, he was cutting. He was like just playing songs that even, like, if I didn't like the song, he made me like that song because of how he was playing it. And that's like a big thing for me personally. After that, I was like, all right, I kind of want to try it out. Just in general, like, it's just such a dope creative outlet. I never knew DJs because I didn't grow up with DJs. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that they could do all these crazy things. So after that, I tried it. Literally, like, one day into it, I was like, this is fun. I researched some more. I was like, this is like an unlimited like area of like creativity. And I feel like that's kind of how like I am as a DJ. Like doing like radio and then like sports DJing and stuff, and then like nightlife, corporate, as we all like, do and venture out. Yeah, I just thought it was dope, and just I still love it to this day, the same. So, if not more, honestly. So
That's funny because I don't meet too many other DJs that didn't grow up like, it's like the hip hop story.
For sure.
I fell in love with hip hop back in '94. I'm like, bro, I just started DJing.
Yeah.
I woke up one day and said, I think I want to DJ.
Yeah.
And bought my first laptop and
Nice. Just
you
make
know what I'm saying?
happen.
Just make it happen. Like I don't know what I'm doing. So it's good to hear people who just kind of something sparks you and you just pick up the interest and pick up the habits. You talked about events and sports teams. So what type of sports teams are you DJing for? What are you doing?
Right now I'm doing a WNBA Phoenix Mercury, which is Arizona's WNBA team.
Shout out to women's basketball.
Hey.
Can't wait to get flued out.
Yes.
You need to come to our games.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah. And then I'm second string for Suns. DJ Automatic is the official DJ for Suns, and then I'm whenever he's out, I'm playing, which is dope too.
But you also do the annexes for Suns.
Yeah, so I'm usually, if you're at a home game at Suns, you'll probably see me pavilion and annexes, which is like the front part, just to get the pregame hype, and then the classier part, which is annexes, which is like the people that do like high VIP stuff. Overall, I think it's pretty dope. I feel like doing years in radio actually helped me because there's do sports DJing, if that's how you say it, but just because the programming plus the energy with nightlife, which is crazy because you never really think like, I'm like, okay, what was the purpose of me like doing this for so many years, and then you like jump into something else and you're like, this was it, like, so that was this has been a pretty dope experience. She also dances for Phoenix Mercury. She just recently rekindled that, like about almost a decade ago. She was dancing for Suns as well,
That's right.
so,
Yeah, I started with the Mercury
just a lot of
like
Phoenix
10 years
things.
ago.
Yeah, just a lot of like just being part of like the creative community in Phoenix and everything like that. Like we've just been doing that for a lot of years. So
I have also heard you mention how it's different from radio to being in arena for sure.
Yeah, and the energy is just like always so high because everyone's like ready to get it,
Yeah.
So pretty dope.
That's what's up. I haven't had an opportunity to do too many sporting events. I've done an amateur boxing event, which is it's damn near a free for all. You could just play. All right, win between rounds, just throw something on. Like, see how to.
Did you do like walk up songs? Did they have walk up songs?
Oh, nice.
I've always like wanted to know what how do they even think about that?
I have so many crazy ideas for walk up songs, but they match, and I'm still wondering why nobody has used Baby King Vent.
Okay.
Because the song goes, have you ever been punched in your motherfucking face?
Dang.
You gotta
What you
like
say,
push that sometimes.
oh, you haven't?
Right.
All right, wait, bitch. Then what? I'm like, but
That would be perfect.
I'm like, who?
That's it right there.
I need to get hired as a consultant for a lot of creative things, but I'm not gonna talk about the Kendrick song and because the fighter he mentioned in his song is from here.
Oh,
who has a fight in L.A. So guess what? Guess what? I sent in the text message like, "Hey, y'all need to make sure."
Yeah.
So we'll see if it happens. We'll see. Nova, talking earlier, we had an interesting conversation about your, I guess, dance background / performance background.
Yeah.
You were a drag. Was it drag
I was
king?
a drag
then?
queen.
Okay, so you were a drag queen.
Yes. A drag king would be someone who is female biological who performs as male.
Yes.
So I'm cisgender female performing as a female.
gotcha.
In drag. Yeah. Did that for a few years. And that's actually how I met Javin the first time. We did an event together and she was DJing and I was performing as Lady Gaga. That's like my main event. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we reconnected again through Nels. So it's really interesting how I cross paths with her with both my careers that I have going on.
And then now dance too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That's
But
interesting.
just makes me think about like the creative world and how we're all tied in together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. The worlds always kind of mesh and collide at some point if you're being true to being a creative and not just being the status quo.
Yep.
I actually had to do it was kind of a drag ball. I got to DJ a drag ball
Oh, cool.
with one of my friends here. I want to say now 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, and that was really cool because the music is gonna be upbeat, pumping. So I'm like, I'm in the crowd, like go.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a good time. The best tea I've ever drank in my life from some local tea brewery, but it was a good time. But just watching and not being able to see one in person until that time and just being in that atmosphere, it's always good to have new experiences and to be amongst an additional crowd.
Sure.
And then what you're, I guess, I want to say not necessarily just not accustomed to, but not being out in that format.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely cool to see and be a part of. When it comes to DJing, Javin, what do you think, what would you say kind of your style could be defined as? Like, what is your actual style? So are you open format? Are you a turntablist? You a hip hop purist? Are you like, I can do whatever, try me?
I would like to say that, yeah. Just in general, like my main influences is like 8-Track and Chris Villa, which both like can do turntablism, add that flavor into like literally any genre. Like, yeah, pretty much hip hop, Latin, because Phoenix is a huge Latin base, and then also like house, just open format DJing, but adding that little flavor that makes it a little bit different, and just learning in general, like DJing wise, like what kind of perks people up in a sense. And I feel like if you do it right, then it's cool. So yeah, I guess as far as like labeling myself, I don't really have a label, but I would say like maybe open format with a background in turntablism. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like to be diverse, and that's kind of like a personal preference, honestly, just because like even now, like doing like radio and then nightlife, corporate things like that, like I like to be diverse. Keeps me entertained personally, and just keep growing and learning and never being like stuck in one part. So yeah. What about you?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a very I like I said, my wife's with the Malcolm X Foundation. I'm very pro-black.
Hell yeah.
But what that means to me, though, as far as the music, is I like to put urban or black genres, and not just black artists, but black genres to the forefront when I DJ. So I'm still a baby in turntablism. I'm better than anybody with a controller, but I'm still a baby in that, still growing in that. But I like to really put on events and DJ themed events.
Cool.
So, and it helps me build my crates and not get bored.
Yeah.
So I hate commercial clubs to a degree, because we definitely threw the best party last year during College World Series. We had a twerk party. The stories from that party were crazy.
I may see some videos soon.
I hope somebody got some video, because we got a wild piece of footage, because we had a contestant in the twerk competition who showed a little too much on that stage. And she definitely won. Well, we had a good time that night.
As she should.
We had a good time that night. But yeah, I really just try to all styles. Like I've had, I do my hip hop. I like to I'm a person I call myself a digital crate digger. So I don't like just finding the records that's just the radio edit. So I buy albums, like on bought music alone, not in your crates, on your record pools. Bought music alone, I'm spending almost $1,500 a year to buying music and going through albums. Like I still listen to albums. So I find the best tracks on the album and I categorize them for what they would go good with. So I have an old school feel of, I want to play you something that you've never heard. That's how I like to DJ. But it's going to be fire.
That makes such a big difference, yeah.
Yeah, and so they're like, what is it? So everybody always come up to me, I found this song because of, so I'm like, all right, I'm doing my job. So that
feels good, honestly. When that happens, you're like,
just put people on good ass music.
I better see you Shazam.
Yeah.
That's even a thing I want to do. I want to have a Shazam party. Hey man, Shazam, call me. But I want to try to play dope music and just see how many people are Shazamming records in the same spot.
Yeah.
So
Just educating too in general and everything.
yeah,
Putting them on, like, hell yeah.
I'm really an advocate for artists and artistry. So
Yeah.
that's what I like to be. So that's just who I am as a person. That's who I've always been. That's how this podcast got created. Honestly, was me during COVID, not trying to be bored. So I was posting a song a day from a different artist
That's awesome.
every day except on Sundays. For I think I went 34 weeks straight.
Damn,
And-
every day?
And the only time I repeated artists was the week of an event, and we had my guy Mickey Fax. I had posted all his songs that week, just the promo for that week. And some months, like some weeks or some months, I would have a theme. So when it was close to election time, I played a lot of meaningful records and things that meant something. And I was just putting music up, and they was like, "Bro, I found so much music just by you posting." And I called that series Streets A&R. So that's how
That's the
it's
birth.
grown into what it's grown into. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at now. Still doing my own events, burning down wherever. I'm trying to find new places. So that's what I like to do. I actually get to pop a cherry or two in our community for some venues coming up.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's what I like to do. Speaking of COVID, when I started following you, I noticed you did what I was doing and took advantage of every free instructional turntablist class in the history. That was never a thing before then.
Yeah.
And I was, because I was following and I was like, yo, she is getting super nice. What was that time like in sharpening your skills, but also going through that time period, trying to figure out what do you do as a person that almost we're DJs. You need people to be in
Yes.
seats, and now we can't be around anybody. So
Yeah.
explain kind of how you got through that and kind of what came out of that.
I mean, that was a trip for sure. That was when Twitch was like its biggest, right? For DJs. Every DJ was like, all right, we want to play, we want to keep the party going, but how do we do that with no people? And that's when Twitch happened. I did a few Twitch sets. It's tough. Like, I would like to do it again. It's just like, it's a lot of technicality for one person. Like, I feel like you need like a team in a sense. But as far as like actually like the pandemic and everything, like, it was tough mentally, man. Like, there was a lot going on. Like you said, like the elections were also that time, and just like social media was at an all-time high because that's the only place we could connect that time. As far as DJ wise, well, we actually opened up businesses in Arizona with a limit. So their rule was like, don't make people dance, which was like so funny. Yeah, they're like, don't make people dance. Make sure that they're chilling, but like play whatever. But yeah, it gave us time to like sharpen our skills a little bit and like kind of explore like what we're gonna do next. You know, because at that time for me personally, I was like, well, what's gonna happen next? You know, like this can be a new era of like the way events are and everything. But for me personally, it was a lot of mental like things to go over. You know, a hurdle, and then yeah, just sharpening skills and doing what we can during that time. What I
an
like,
unpredictable time. It's crazy. You like really have to
Very
get
much.
like
creative.
really trying to find like the way for you to make it in general, like in a sense of creativity as well. But you know, like we all lost our jobs at some point, so that was crazy too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, did you go get a 9-to-5 or you end up losing it? He was like,
Okay. Well, actually, I tried a job for like, I only lasted like 2 weeks max, and that was in a break. So like I worked for like 3 days, and then I used my PTO, and then I quit, and then I tried again. So that's about it. But luckily, because Arizona is like very open and we're like pro business and everything, like we opened up pretty well, and then it just spiraled after that. You know, within the rules, of course.
right.
Other than that,
Did you guys have like the no dancing police?
Yes, no dancing
Yeah.
police for sure. Yes, actually.
I
Yeah.
saw that at my fraternity brother's wedding, and I went to Cleveland, and they were like, literally, they playing. They was like, "Yo, we got restrictions. We can't have to."
Yes.
So we like, man, fuck that. So we
Right.
going. They like, no, we're shut it. I'm like, are y'all serious? So I said, so we can sit right next to each other and eat with no mask, but we can't dance with our mask. Make it make sense.
Yes.
My job's in public health, so I'll be like, make it make sense.
Literally.
But yeah, that's great.
really how it was pretty much for like almost a year. So, but yeah, it was a crazy time. I learned a lot. If it happened again, it'd be different, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I would know what's up.
And from some of the sharpening standpoints, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was, I think it was DMCs, right? Did you want regional or national?
No, I actually would like to do DMCs one day, but
Okay.
because it's so heavily in turntablism, like I never put that amount of effort just because of just having a background in like trying to be like with the people too, plus turntablism. But I did Red Bull 3 style, and then A-Track's Goldie Awards, which was at the time like he built it I think from like 2017 to like, and then after the pandemic they tried to do it online, but it was a little tough. I actually don't know if they're doing it now. I haven't kept up, but as far as competition wise, yeah, I did Red Bull and then also Goldie Awards, which was Goldie Awards was like a world battle in New York, and then Red Bull 3 style is you get chosen and you're flown out. Before though, I think it was like 2015. I was only like I think like a few years into DJing. I did the regional one. I got picked for the regional one.
For Red Bull?
No, that was when they were doing that. Now they're like, let's skip regional and let's just pick for nationals and make them go head to head.
Where was the nationals when you competed?
Philadelphia, and that was my first time there. It was cool.
Oh, that's
a lot of history. Yep.
I was looking at the one in where was it? South Korea, I think.
Oh yeah, that's the world one.
That looked crazy. I was like,
yeah.
I just want to go. I don't want to. I want to go kick it. Like that looked insane. I'm like, I never thought about traveling to South Korea, but I think I want to go.
Yeah, I definitely hope that they like put it back up and that we can travel, because the world ones are insane. Like they did one I think in like South Korea, and then I think they did one in like Thailand or something like that, and just basically like all over the world. And I'm like, I want to go, you know? Yeah. So for me, it was the year that Jay Espinoza won. Yeah, and it's just crazy doing like battle DJing, the pressure and like the time that you commit to it. Would I do it again? Probably. But like, I definitely need to like make sure that, you know, I'm older now and I know what's up. So.
Yeah, it's a completely different space. I competed in one battle, and it was a local one, and Elliot is the one who beat me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I gotta talk to him about that. Hear the story.
Yes. I mean, again, I'm still learning the turntablism, but people rock. They're like, your song choice be insane. I'm like, playing around, word playing and stuff. But it's a very, you know, to be prepared for a battle, like you got to have so many routines. I'm like, this is.
Yes.
Listen, I need another 3 days before I can get you another.
Right, you need to have tricks up your sleeve.
It's a different animal, so, but it's definitely something. It's just cool to be in that space with other DJs and seeing how their minds are working and how they put their sets together and what they determine what they want to showcase. You know, it's very interesting to me, but maybe not to everybody else. Y'all don't care, but you should definitely go to one. You should definitely go to one. Those are some. Anything that's like a niche crowd, I think people should try to experience some.
Just to learn at least a little bit, you know, just kind of see like what's up. Yeah, like be like, okay, this is different, you know, and just doing like I feel like with battle DJs, I mean, if I wasn't a DJ and I just heard people like scratching, I'd be like, what's going on, you know, and then like personally me, I thought it was amazing, but just in the general mass, like I would be confused a little bit, but also like. The way that a lot of battle DJs pretty much share it, I think is pretty dope. To where they can still connect with people.
Yeah. Learning the language.
Yes.
So, and I know you know about that, Nova, as a dancer. I'm kind of curious, like, how did you get your start in dancing? Because I know, like, dancing for a team is a very particular style of dancing. So, where was your start, and how did you get to that?
Well, I started dancing back in I would say it started in elementary school for me. Especially in the area that I grew up in, my parents could not afford to put me in a dance studio. That was kind of always a dream. So I was never really trained in the technical aspect when it came to dance. So I really found a passion in more like street dancing, freestyling, which to kind of go piggyback off of that, it is very different when you're on a professional dance team, because when you are on a dance team, it's all about looking alike. Everybody has to have their arm exactly placed at the same way, as opposed to freestyling. You are kind of like in your own realm and you kind of get to showcase your style. I joined the professional dance scene back in 2011. And I think that I really fell in love with the discipline of it. I think I've always really liked being a part of a group or cohort with people who also like to have that discipline with themselves and wanting to grow and be better within themselves. But it was definitely different. But I got to say that I love having a team where we can push each other. We have a goal together that we want to accomplish, and to be able to share the court with my fellow teammates is really amazing. I mean, even when we're about to start, like when we're out there and they're about to announce the team come out, the Phoenix Mercury, that's like,
it's a lot of pressure.
that is a height for me. There is a lot of pressure. There's like the bass in the stadium. Everybody's cheering. You see all these phone lights. The lights are going. So we're just kind of like, all right, like let's rock this. Like we're here for the fans, and it's euphoric. It's great.
So does every I'm asking this because I play football, obviously with this tight body type, but it reminds me, does everything slow down right before you start and hit the court? Is it a slow down process for you? Like you can almost like feel and hear everything. Like very, like you're talking about euphoria, like it's a very heightened sense.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, it does happen right before intros for sure. Yeah. I'm like in the zone, like making sure everything is like perfect.
It's kind of like that moment where you're seeing everything, but nobody sees you yet, and you kind of like see it, and it's building up, and you're just like, okay, we're on the side of the court. Like, all right, we're about to go on in 10, 9. We just go out there. That is a great feeling for sure.
Yeah, that's one of those feelings that is hard to replicate in life unless you are getting ready to literally do something. For me, playing football, I always enjoy being on the kickoff team because that's the first thing out there, and I'm like, well, let's kick, because I'm ready to go. And I kid you not, I've played in front of our high school stadium sat 20,000.
Damn.
From Texas. So, I played in front of 100,000, and to be for somehow everybody screaming, and yet I can hear one singular person very clearly, and it's upon kickoff. It's the eeriest thing you see in the movies where all you hear is breathing. Yeah. And so like I'm running. Yeah. And then if I get that hit, it's literally like the world turns on, like pow, and like you hear everything. I'm like, this is insane. Like
just echoing based off of whatever it is that you're doing.
Like it is a very unique feeling, and I know like and that's adrenaline, that's heart rate, that's focus.
Which I used to always say, like, oh, I feel so nervous. I think it was quite a few years that I would always think that way. But then I think this season I kind of rewired my brain to thinking like it's not nervousness, it's the adrenaline, and it's like excitement, exactly. Because when I kind of tell myself it's nervousness, and I may sabotage myself in certain times, but you kind of have to rewire that.
Yeah, the first time I did like a concert opening for like a bigger artist, it was like the Pitbull concert. That was my first time in an arena, and I was like, whew. Yeah. Like, and it was like one of those arenas where like the bottom and then the top, and it was just one side, so it was like, it's not even like a circle where you're like, okay, people are behind me.
It's like here.
Yeah. Right. All looking down at you. I think that was like, I was like, oh, I'm nervous.
But even then, we've had conversations before where I've told Javin, like, I know I have a job to do when I'm with my team, but there are 18 of us. There are one of you, and that's very, very special.
Especially dealing with equipment.
Yes. And having someone in your ear, right? At the same time,
I have like one ear for myself and then one ear for
the producer, stage. Speaking of equipment, I've had many a shits go really bad.
Oh yeah.
Like computer stopped. As recent
What
as
a nightmare.
as
Yeah, that's a
recent
nightmare
as
situation.
recent as last year for I got called to substitute for a gig because a DJ got snowed in to do a ABBA. What kind of music was it? I'm blanking. Not house. Disco party.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I'll do that. Like, well, he can give you the music. He can do it on Tidal. And I hadn't even downloaded Tidal yet. I'm like, all right, I don't trust, because I'm like, I don't trust internet-based
Yeah.
streaming for DJing.
I was right there too.
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of the gig. I'm going through his play. First of all, I don't want to call, fuck him. I'm going to call him terrible selection of where it goes. Like, this is not a DJ. This is a playlist. Because
okay.
it'd be 105, 73. So it was
I
all
see.
over the place. There was no,
Yeah,
I'm
there's
like,
no flow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they gave you the ingredients, but they didn't give you the rest.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it like this is not how you cook. So I get in, I swear to God, I'm watching one of the songs and it's not downloading. I'm looking like, oh, it's getting to the end of this.
Oh yeah.
And then it just,
internet,
it shut
yeah.
off. Everybody, it's sold out. Boo! I said,
No.
we are having
Oh
technical
my
difficulties.
gosh.
I restarted my
That's the
computer
worst.
on stage, restarted. Luckily, I had a OG DJ who gave me a bunch of his crates. Because remember, I'll be in the urban styles. It's not even my main style. He gave me a bunch of crates. So I'm looking through his list. I'm digging in my folders. I'm like, oh, shit. I got everything on this list already. I get that. You know, all you got to do is just
Pull
start
it
it.
up. Yep.
Throw on
Just stir
Dancing
it up.
Queen,
Yeah.
and we back live. Boy, we got through that one, but I've had some
Wow.
bombs. When have you ever? They might have been early, but whenever do you recall any of like your worst
Yeah.
bombing moment? Any DJ, anybody who performs anywhere that says they hasn't means they're either not good or they're lying.
Right.
Yeah. We've all had that. I feel like that's a huge learning step for sure. I mean, similar, like I've had power cut out where like the whole club is up and then like the whole power cuts out.
Oh yeah, I think you said that recently happened at Valley Bar.
Yeah, at
right?
Valley Bar it did happen.
Well, that's understandable if everything cuts out, but when it looked like
know,
it's your
dude,
fault,
but
Right.
It still did though. Like it's so funny because anytime the music cuts out, everyone looks at
Right. They're like dancing.
yeah, they're like,
Looking
it's
at
the
the DJ.
DJ's fault. I'm like, it's dark, guys. Like, I don't control the lights. But yeah, I've had that happen. I've had where I was doing like lifestyle changes, and I've had like bad sets. Those are the ones that hurt me the most personally. Because I feel like just preparation and just myself. I mean, it's been a long time. That was like in my early years of DJing, and then just in general, like equipment stuff, like even at the Roosevelt John, remember the mixer had a poor trim, so I was like mixing one song and all of a sudden this song is like 10 times louder, and then the people are like, yo, you fucked up my vibe. So yeah, so there's things like that, small things. I feel like the first like 10 to 20 minutes it's like making sure everything's set and good and feeling out the vibes. So but yeah, we've all had those bombing moments for sure. Like those are the moments that make you decide what you want to do moving forward.
right?
The moment that came to my mind is when we had our auditions last season, and we were in our freestyle part of the auditions so that the judges can kind of see like where you are. And the music had cut off. Javin was actually DJing our auditions. And we're like literally in the middle of it.
Oh, no
Everybody's
music?
hyped.
Yeah.
Yes. And so luckily with dancers, like we're going to make it happen no matter what, right? So we're like start clapping. We're like, no music.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so Javin's like trying to figure it out. And then come to realize, what was it actually
it
that
was
had
like
happened?
the venue's sound thing. We were pushing too much power. So
Oh, yeah.
it turned off.
Yeah. But we still worked it out.
Yeah, it was great. And it was right at the end where it was the
Oh,
moment
yeah, it was-
that you can do.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's cool. I mean, those are just the moments that really teach you a lot of things, and then also like how are you gonna handle it, you know? And it works out. Yeah.
Do you sweat when it happens? I just start sweating.
Nah.
I get frustrated. I start
Child,
and do the stare of death in the computer. You be like,
I
like
mean,
not making any eye
some
contact, but you can see all these eyes.
yeah
staring at you.
There's some level where I'm like, as soon as it happens, I go into like the mode now where I'm like, I don't even care what happened. I want to make sure like where it's coming from, how to fix it, and that's it. Yeah, I'm at that place now where I'm like, as soon as I hear something off, I'm like, where is it coming from and how do I fix it?
Gotcha.
Before I would be like, what happened and stuff and all that. Now I'm like, I don't care what happened. Let's fix it.
Right.
So it's a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, just preparation and stuff. I mean, we honestly can't really be prepared for that. It just happens. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be what they say. Just be able to adjust.
Yep.
Adaptability is probably the key thing in any art field in the history of known a man. One of my last questions. So you do all these different styles of events. What do you say like is kind of like your favorite to where you truly feel like you can just be you in that space? Like what type of event or venue or crowd like that lets you like, you know what, I get to be in my motherfucking bag, like, and you free, you know, like what type of place is that?
I feel like that's how it was with New Year's when we did it. Huge crowds, people. I mean, recently I've been trying to like jump into different pockets. There's a new generation, at least in our city, like Roosevelt John and stuff, where they're really pushing boundaries of like different music.
Roosevelt John is an event.
Yeah, it's my friend Joey's event, and Natasha Castles. Shout out Natasha Castles and Joey T. And they're throwing like these events that are like, we're doing things that are not normal for the city, which I feel like is like very important in progression. But I'm trying to get into like those pockets and trying different events.
What about it was it that you felt like was more you?
That I could play a little bit different things, like doing things like nightlife and radio and things. You end up repeating like songs and things like that. Like the vibe is still there, but well, if you play something that's yes. As if you play something too off, are they gonna respond? Not as much. But I feel like with that party, they were like cool with it, you know. So I would say like intimate, open-minded parties like that, and then also huge crowds. Just because, I mean, even if I play things that I've played like 100 times, we'll make the energy to that level, and that makes me feel good. And when I feel like when they're at that energy, they're open to like a lot more stuff too. What about you?
I'm not gonna lie. Some of my favorite sets would be like at an art gallery.
Okay, yeah.
Because now I get to play all the weird shit I really listen to. I'm like, man, I'm throwing on hiatus coyote right now. And like, and it's gonna vibe. Or I get in my super eclectic neo soul bag. When I get in that type of bag, like I get free, and then I start flowing. And honestly, part of why I do my own events, because I truly try to stay as close to myself with this, because I treat it more so as me as an artist and not just an instrument for y'all to hear me. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm the DJ, but like I'm playing for me.
Yeah.
Like what you say in drumline, like I ain't throwing for you, I was throwing for A&T. I'm doing this for me for the most part, but I also understand like I want to make y'all have a good time when I'm in front of you, but I also have a mission to put these artists who deserve to be heard on.
For sure.
And I also have a mission to let you know that I have my own style. And I used to tell people something very simple. I said, I can do what you can do, but you can't do what I do.
Yeah.
And so
that's really it, honestly. Like, yeah.
So it's always fun, especially when you try your tricks and you throw your flares in and you give them a song that you love or and you know they don't know it, and they look at you and they're like, and you're like, I got one. You only need one. Because after that one, your night goes incredible once you find that one. So, you know, that's really what I look for as far as the spaces. I love the spaces where I have no bounds for real. I'm not bound to a certain type of vibe. I'm not bound to the nightlife. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to play this trash ass music right now. This sucks. Let me play this though. And let me play you some more. The twerk party was so live. I was in the underground bag going crazy.
Okay, after this podcast, I have to look something up about the twerk party.
I'm going to see if I DJ'd that with another DJ here, Scotty Pigeon. And I had one part of it. I looked at him. He was getting, I said, nigga, go. He was like, I'm like, because it was at that time, like, all right, we ain't got too much. Turn it up. For real. Oh, my gosh. 12. We was at a music venue that usually holds about 800, but they open up the outside too. So you talking 1,300 people, like for a twerk party. Like it was no pop, nothing. It was, well, the other
ready.
pop that ass.
Right.
So, so it was cool. It was definitely
That's 2,700 booty cheeks. Just
listen, just left and right, boy. I was like, woo. It was a good time. I think I might have some clips on my computer. I'm gonna see if I can pull them up. Some very few clips. I didn't get too much. I guess we definitely forgot to ask, why are you here in Omaha, Nebraska, sitting here with me?
Of course, we are here for the Mula Block Party.
Yeah.
Presented by Mula Beats Life Knowledge. Shout out. It's gonna be lit for sure. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited.
Yep. And
who was it that you said that reached out to you?
Ness.
Yep,
Okay,
Ness,
nice.
DJ Ness here in Omaha. And it was, so I'm gonna just tell you the truth. The reason you're here is because I said,
He did tell me that. He did tell me
'cause
that.
we were trying to figure out who we could bring. I'm like, we're gonna get Javin. Like, all right.
He did tell me that.
Yep.
Thank you.
And no problem.
Excited.
And we have an all women's lineup.
Yes, that's awesome.
And I'm excited to see all of you ladies tear down the stage. I think being in a place like Omaha, it's going to be very refreshing to see and extremely surprising and refreshing once they hear you get going. And everybody's in for a treat on that one.
Yeah.
I know this is going to come out later, but I hope you saw. I hope you go win see it because it's going to be one of those. Definitely.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, Javin, one quick question, and then we're going to get up out of here. As far as your DJing and activities, what is a event or place that you have on your bucket list that you want to do?
Oh, I would like to one day DJ at my homeland, the Philippines. Manila,
okay.
Philippines, and Japan, maybe. I mean,
Ooh.
their DJs out there are insane.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, anyway. But yeah, those places, I would say DJing in my motherland would be great for me
That's hard.
personally.
Where would you want to dance?
That's a good question.
What type of event too?
I think it'd be really cool to backup dance for someone who is pretty well known. I don't have a particular artist in mind. I've done a lot of backup dancing for drag queens back home, which I think is really cool. But if I could,
too, Minnie.
yes,
Yeah.
Minnie, yes, shout out to Minnie. But something on a bigger scale, I think that would be cool. But I really am at a point in my life where any dance really fulfills my heart when it comes to that, whether it's teaching or performing.
Gotcha.
I love that. It's great.
That's what's up.
What about you? What's on your bucket list? For
Either something like, or I would love to do a set at Afropunk
okay.
or something, or somewhere where I can get a black mosh pit set. I literally have a crate
Dude,
that's
you
black
have-
mosh pit.
You
And
have
it's-
next time you come to Phoenix, hit me up because
Listen,
there's a lot of new events coming up and it's there.
I'm like, I need 20 minutes. I hope y'all have stretched. I'm literally gonna set it up like before we get started. Let's get some water.
Yep.
Let's breathe. Let's stretch.
No, I'll be up there
And
in the
we
front.
gonna
Like, all right,
lead
y'all.
it.
We got
They gonna be
right
like-
arm.
We're gonna have a few little breaks, but I'm like, I have music I put anytime I hear a wild ass beats, and it's not all rock music. A lot of hip hop now has blended with that genre anyways.
yeah.
But I'm like, I got some crazy shit. I'm gonna get you some of my crazy, and be like,
would
just
love
like
that.
throw this over there. But that's something I just want to do, and I want to just go ape shit and mess around, start crumping on stage or something. I'm gonna be doing crazy. So that's my one. So yeah. So all right, we finna get out of here. Javin, where can the people find you at?
Yes, everything's at DJ Javin, DJ Javin. Thank you for having us.
No problem. We appreciate it.
What
Excited.
platforms?
Instagram, literally everything. Instagram, Twitter. You can check out my mixes, djjavin.com. Mixcloud, SoundCloud. I try to make sure that it's all like
Gotcha.
easy to find as much as possible. So, yeah.
And Nova?
All right, for me, as far as my dance side, you can find me on Instagram at dancing_Nova. As far as my nail career goes, you can follow me on Nova's Beauty Room or Stash House AZ. Shout out to them.
Got you. We definitely appreciate y'all having you here. Can't wait for tomorrow evening. Tomorrow is a jam-packed ass day.
Which we saw the
We're ready.
space today. We got to see the before, the calm before the storm.
We're ready.
Gonna be lit.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good time. Definitely gonna be a good time. I'm telling everybody to pull up. So you'll get to meet my our co-host, and probably her whole family will probably be there. So we're gonna get to it. But we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all follow us at Streets A&R. That's Streets A&R. We're on everything but Apple. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share, watch, comment, sending a message to any and everybody, man. We appreciate y'all for joining us, and we about to get to it, man. This is a good weekend.
Yeah,
Appreciate y'all for coming through, Javin and Nova, and we getting out of here. It's your host, Giddy Jicky with it, and we out. Peace. The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast.